Hello everyone, Absent Friend here, and today we are coming at you with another guide for Disney Villainous. So, let's let's triple the taxes and squeeze as much money as we can out of those miserable peasants as we take on the role of the greedy Prince John.
Forgive me a cruel chuckle. Power.
In this video, we will be looking at all the cards in Prince John's deck with a few tips on how to play them or not play them as the case may be. We will also be looking at Prince John's Fate deck for anyone who might want some tips and tricks on how to effectively keep Prince John from winning the game. Before we begin, be sure to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell to be alerted when new episodes are available. To win as Prince John, all he has to do is start his turn with 20 power tokens in his control. That's it. Should be easy enough, right? Let's start out by looking at Prince John's allies. He has 10 total. 3 Rhino Guards, 3 Wolf Archers, 1 Nutsy, 1 Trigger, 1 Sir Hiss, and 1 Sheriff of Nottingham. Let's break them down, starting with the Rhino Guards. These guys cost 3 power to play and have a strength of 4, but no other ability. Their only purpose is to vanquish heroes. We'll talk about how to play them in a moment. Next up are the Wolf Archers. These guys cost 2 power to play and have a strength of 2. They are what I call the Y attackers, meaning they can vanquish heroes on their location or any adjacent location. If Prince John plays these guys, place them in either Friar Tuck's Church or Nottingham to get the maximum possible range of their attack. Now for our named allies, starting with Nutsy. He costs 2 power to play and has a strength of 2. But he can also boost the strength by +1 to all other allies at his location. If Prince John plays him, be sure to play him where other allies are so they can benefit from that boost. Now for Nutsy's counterpart, Trigger. Trigger costs 2 power to play and has a strength of 4. But he reduces the strength of all other allies at his location by -1. So if Prince John is going to use Trigger, try to put him and Old Betsy by themselves. And if you've seen the movie, you'll know why.
Don't you worry none, Sheriff. The safety's on Old Betsy.
Before we get to our last 2 allies, let's recap on the allies we've seen so far. Remember Rhino Guards, Wolf Archers, Nutsy, and Trigger? Remember everything they can do and their strength and all their abilities and all that? Got it all in the old noggin, huh? Well, forget it. Prince John should never play any of these allies. Remember, the objective is to collect 20 power, so why waste it on allies that may never need to be used? The only time to bring out any of these allies is to take out either King Richard, Robin Hood, or any other hero that may have stolen power from the prince. Now let's talk about the allies that Prince John should play. Starting with Sir Hiss. He is probably the best ally in his deck. If Sir Hiss and Prince John are in the same location, Prince John can use one action that is covered by a hero. It can be any action, including a fate action. Playing this card is a no-brainer. Always play Sir Hiss at Friar Tuck's Church, so Prince John will always have access to his gain 2 power action or his second play card action. And the last ally in Prince John's deck is the Sheriff of Nottingham. Before Prince John moves on his turn, the Sheriff can move to any location, and if that new location has a hero there, Prince John gains 1 power. Even though he costs 3 power to play, he will pay for himself in no time. Be sure to keep out at least 2 insignificant heroes so the Sheriff can get power from them at every turn. And that's it for Prince John's allies. Now let's look at his items. He has a total of 7. 3 warrants, 2 bow and arrows, 1 golden arrow, and 1 crown. First up, let's look at the warrant. Each lets Prince John gain 2 power when a hero is played to the location that has. Definitely play each as soon as possible and place 1 at each location except the jail. Next up is the bow and arrows. These attach to an ally, boost their strength by +1, and when that ally does a vanquish action, the bow and arrow will be discarded instead of the ally. It's a handy item for keeping allies in the realm, but since allies won't be played very much, don't let this card clog up Prince John's hand. Up next is the golden arrow. This card is free to play and gets attached to any ally. When that ally is used to defeat a hero, the golden arrow lets Prince John gain 2 power. Did I mention that card was free? Last but definitely not least in the items category is the crown. This item makes all of Prince John's card costs reduced by 1. That's right. Anytime Prince John plays any card while at the location with the crown, it costs 1 less to play. This has got to be the best item in his deck. Always play this at Friar Tuck's church so he can use this with his double card play action. And that's it for his items. Now let's move on to his effects. He has a total of 9. 3 imprison, 3 beautiful, lovely taxes, 2 set a trap, and 1 intimidation. Let's dive in. First up, imprison. This allows Prince John to move any hero to the jail. If there is a hero in the way of Prince John's actions, just use this card and move him to the jail. Remember, if possible, to keep 1 hero in a separate location so the sheriff can hop back and forth to keep gaining those extra powers. Next up,
Beautiful, lovely taxes.
for every hero in his realm, Prince John gains 1 power. This could come in real handy if Prince John leaves a lot of heroes in his realm. So don't be too eager to get rid of the heroes too quickly. Use this card as soon as you can or discard it if there are no heroes out at the time. The next effect card is Set a Trap. This allows Prince John to move an ally to any location and perform a vanquish action there. This card is handy for taking out heroes in a pinch, as long as he has an ally to spare. This card is very situational though, so go ahead and discard it if it's not going to be used right away. And the last effect is Intimidation. This card lets Prince John take a free vanquish action and will not have to discard any of the allies used to defeat the hero. This can also be very handy when used in combination with the golden arrow. Again, it's also very situational, so if you can't use it right away, just discard it. And that is it for all of the cards that Prince John can play during his turn. Now let's check out those conditions. His first condition is Greed. This is another very powerful card for Prince John to have. During an opponent's turn, if they have at least 6 power, Prince John gets 3 power. If he is playing a villain who likes to hoard power, Prince John can get lots of use out of this card. However, if the opponents keep spending all their power and never really accumulate the 6 power needed, just get rid of it. His other condition is Cowardice. This allows Prince John to play an ally for free. Free! As long as an opponent has 3 or more allies in their realm, Prince John can play a free ally. Once again, I say free. Say it with me, please. Free. If his opponents are ally heavy, this card is a no-brainer. But if the opponents don't use a lot of allies... And that's all the cards for Prince John's villain deck. Now let's switch sides and look through his fate deck to see how we're going to keep Prince John from winning the game. Let's start with the heroes. There are a total of 9. First up is Toby, the Cowardly Turtle. He has 2 strength, and if he is defeated, he goes right back into the Fate deck. That's all he does, so if he's drawn and there's a better card to play, just play the other one. If Toby must be played, just use him to cover up actions. Next up is Skippy. He has a strength of 2, but he cannot be targeted by wolf archers. Once again, if there is a better card, just play it instead. But Skippy can still cover up actions if there is no other option. Up next is Alana Dale, or Alana Dale, I guess. I don't know, he's the singing rooster guy. He has a strength of 2, but can also boost the strength of all other heroes in the realm by +1. This card is pretty situational, but if there are other heroes out worth boosting, then go ahead and play him. If not, play the other card. Next hero on the list is the love interest, Maid Marian. She has a strength of 3, and when she is defeated, Robin Hood is immediately found and played to her location. This is a good way to get Robin Hood out, even if he's already been defeated or maybe hiding at the bottom of the deck. She can be situational, but she is better than most of the other heroes we've seen so far. The next hero is Friar Tuck, the Fat Friar. He has 3 strength and can remove any and all... Okay, that's getting old. Where was I? Oh, he can remove all of those things from the location he is played to, and before Prince John can gain the power from them. So play him wherever there might be a... Okay. If there are multiple... Ah, there it is! If there are multiple, you know what's out there. So, if there are multiple out there, just take them out in this order. Friar Tuck's Church, Sherwood Forest, and then Nottingham. Lady Cluck is next. She is Maid Marian's lady-in-waiting. She has a strength of 6 and cannot be moved to the jail. Definitely play her to wherever she can cover up the best actions. The next hero is Little John, Robin Hood's loyal sidekick. He has 5 strength and can steal up to 4 power from Prince John and keep it on him until he is defeated. This hero should be played as soon as possible to keep as much power away from Prince John as possible. Try to keep him away from allies so he won't get defeated too quickly. Next up is Robin Hood himself. He has a strength of 5, and while in play, Prince John gains 1 less power from anything that allows him to gain power. That's gain power actions, the sheriff, effect cards, his conditions, everything. And yes, even... Keep him out in the realm as much as possible so Prince John cannot gain power too quickly. And our final hero is King Richard. He has a strength of 5, and while he is in the realm, Prince John cannot play effect cards. This hero by himself is very devastating to Prince John's progress, but in combination with Robin Hood, well, let's just say that Prince John will not be pleased.
Mommy.
Those are all the heroes in the Fate deck, but before we move on, let's talk about the priority of covering actions. Cover up the 2 power gain action, then the discard action, then the Fate action. This will also eventually cover up all his other power gain actions and severely limit his ability to gain power from his locations. Now let's look at the items. Well, item. There is only one Fate item, Clever Disguise. This item is attached to a hero, and that hero cannot be defeated until Prince John pays 2 power to discard it. There are 3 copies of this card in the deck, so be sure to spread them around to different heroes like King Richard, Robin Hood, or any other hero that may have stolen power from Prince John with the use of his only Fate effect card. And that card is Steal from the Rich. He has 3 copies of this, and it can be used to steal up to 4 power from Prince John and place it on any hero in the realm. So be sure to put the power on heroes with disguises and or lots of strength. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you found this guide informative and maybe even picked up a few pointers on how to play Prince John or play against Prince John. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe. Keep watching this channel for more Disney Villainous guides. But before we go, let me know in the comments which Disney villain you think is the funniest in all the Disney movies. This is your absent friend, signing off.